Hey folks, it's me Chris, and I wanted to take a few seconds of your time to talk about this awesome new opportunity that we've been presented with for all of our lovely listeners. We can now offer you all a 1-month free trial from audible.com, allowing you full access to a vast library of audiobooks to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, the trial is completely free, and all you have to do is visit audibletrial.com/GHS and follow the instructions to sign up for a free membership today. We hope you guys enjoy Audible just as much as we do, and thanks for your time. Do you want me to take this next piece, and then you can take a... Okay, cool. So, very cool news, and this actually ties into another piece later on in the show. But System Shock. For those of you who are unfamiliar, System Shock and System Shock 2 were the predecessors to Bioshock. So it was kind of like the games that, like, a lot of people consider Bioshock the spiritual successor to System Shock. I mean, they both have shock in the name and stuff like that. But so apparently it was announced recently that the game will be getting a remake, but it's a Kickstarter campaign. So developer Night Dive Studios did two things. They actually launched both a Kickstarter campaign and a demo for the remake of the 1994 System Shock. So that's interesting that they would launch their Kickstarter campaign with a demo so that people can kind of try it out, see what everything's about. It says here that System Shock's Kickstarter is asking for $900,000 by July 28th, and according
this is not $4 million.
And according to Night Dive, reaching this goal would ensure modern controls and inventory management, new puzzles, difficulty modes, and updated yet faithful levels. Certain stretch goals include a full orchestra score, enemy dismemberment, and an expanded narrative. At the time, when this article was posted on the 29th, so yesterday, it had already received over $451,000 of its goal in a little under 24 hours after its launch. And then, of course, on the demo side of things, they launched a brief proof of concept demo of the game that's currently available on Steam, GOG, and the Humble Store. So you guys can check that out. No release date has been given for the game, but its Kickstarter points to December 2017 for backer rewards delivery, and they want to release it on PC, Mac, Linux, and Xbox One. So, yeah. Gotta say, man, this is another one of those Kickstarter situations where, you know, it's part of that wave of like Yooka-Laylee and Bloodstain and all this, except this time it's straight up a remake of a game.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to say on this, except for be very wary if you're going to put money towards this. And it's your own risk of Kickstarter. After Mighty Number 9 has shown again why it's the most ridiculous concept for launching things.
Oh, Mighty
and trying
Number
to make
9.
successful things.
Man,
yeah, exactly.
Salt on the wound.
I
dude.
never understand it though, because I don't feel sorry for people who backed it either, because you paid basically for a game you didn't know could potentially exist, which was numerously delayed, and you pre-ordered a game. Because the people who actually do this are very hypocritical, because they're the ones who say don't pre-order games or this and that, and basically Kickstarter is like going into the worst betting casino and like throwing money at it and having an outcome where you guaranteed almost to lose most of the time.
It's like Super Saiyan version of pre-ordering.
Yeah.
Like, we must go one step further.
And it's kind of ridiculous, but like with System Shock, you want to back it, you want to back it. It's cool news, but I'm kind of like with Kickstarter, I'm very, very like against it at the minute.
Yeah, dude, I think like you bring up really great points. Kickstarter is one of those things where if you're gonna back something, I feel like you have to be a hardcore fan. So even if it sucks, you're still getting some mild enjoyment out of it. Case in point, Mighty Number 9. Like, I'm so glad I didn't kickstart that, because I'm not really I like Mega Man, but I'm not that big of a Mega Man fan. So I said, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You know, I'll see and wait and see. Maybe it'll get good reviews. Maybe I'll pick it up. And good Lord, no, it's gotten remarkably terrible reviews across the board. So yeah, I mean, this could be something that dies out. It could, like we still got to see how Ukulele does, how Bloodstain does, the big one, the big daddy is Shenmue 3, and now of course System Shock Remake is now being thrown into the cards. Like I'm not going to kickstart this because I number one, I have a son on the way. I don't have money. I gotta spend on things now. Like I can play now. I can't do that. I got a baby, man. 2 months basically. And on top of that, I'm not a huge. I like Bioshock, but I'm not a big fan of System Shock. I've never even played them, so I can't blindly do it. I do think it's cool they gave a demo. I think that's awesome
Yeah.
that they posted a demo. It's a pre-alpha demo, of course, and I heard it's only 10 minutes long. But that's cool. That I think is like a new thing for a Kickstarter campaign to do. Instead of showing you a video, like a proof of concept video, a demo. That's huge. Um, so that's pretty cool. Maybe that'll get the gears going. At least you have that to play. But yeah, Kickstarter, you gotta, it's a cautionary tale, man. You gotta make like I backed up Ukulele, Bloodstain, and Shenmue 3, and that's because I'm a huge fan of Rare back in their day, huge fan of Castlevania, and I fucking love Shenmue. So that's why I did it. But like, you gotta pick and choose your battles, because like that'll happen. Like it's like the Super Saiyan pre-order. So yeah, that's kind of like my whole take on it. That's cool though. The demo, I didn't read that part. That's interesting. But dude, speaking of System Shock, spiritual predecessor to Bioshock, why don't you talk to us about this next piece of news here?
Yeah. So the most unsurprising news after a million leaks has been revealed. 2K has confirmed that Bioshock the Collection is real, and it's a remastered anthology of Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite.
Ooh.
It costs $60 and launches in North America on September 13, Australia on September 15, and international on September 16. The collection includes all three games and all the DLC released for them. That's single player DLC, not multiplayer. Don't be confused with that. Additionally, it will include a director's commentary feature called Imagining Bioshock with director Ken Levine and lead artist Sean Robertson. The remastered version of Bioshock 2 will not include the multiplayer. It's worth noting that the PC version of Bioshock Infinite, including the collection, quote, is not being remastered because it already meets current gen console standards and runs smoothly on high visual settings, end quote. The compilation is being developed by Blind Squirrel Games, which collaborated with Irrational Games on the development of the original release of Bioshock Infinite. But yeah, and then if you want to quickly run through them, so Bioshock comes with a Museum of Orphaned Concepts DLC, Challenge Room DLC, and the director's commentary, which is Imagining Bioshock. Then on Bioshock 2, we've got no multiplayer, but we've got the Minerva's Den DLC and Protector's Trials DLC. And then we've got Bioshock Infinite, which has Clash in the Clouds DLC, Burial at Sea Episode 1 and 2, and Columbia's Finest Pack.
Man, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think the Arkham people should have taken note and included Arkham Origins.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
that's just another story in itself.
Yeah. Man, sounds like a really solid collection. I mean, you get the entire BioShock series in one package, all the DLC, which let me tell you, Minerva's Den DLC is super underrated.
Bioshock 2. Redeem
Yeah.
Bioshock 2 heavily.
Yeah, really, really great game for what it is. And BioShock 1 is legendary and Infinite was really cool
Bioshock's,
too.
to be honest though, Bioshock and the documentary is probably enough to warrant the $60 on it. Just
Yeah,
so you
that
get him and
that is
two.
really cool. Yeah, like I love commentaries, man, in video games. Like, and they're always done so creatively. Like Gone Home was recently on PS4 and that had a really great commentary attached
You
to
know,
it.
fucking 100% at that. But never mind. Um,
Which I'm still amazed by. Dude, you are the new. There's a YouTuber called The Completionist. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. To
yeah.
me, you're the other completionist. Like,
Well, I'm really tame compared to him, but like that's no. So, but great news though. Very
yeah,
excited for this thing. Like it's Bioshock is, as you said, a legendary game.
yeah,
It kind of is one of those things where it needs like it's one of the times where remastered is thoroughly deserved.
yeah.
That's all I've got to say at the minute for it.
And $60 is a steal for all of that. I mean, three
Yeah,
games remastered, except for Infinite, apparently, and all that.
that's a bit strange.
Yeah, like and all that DLC. So yeah, I mean, me personally, I'll probably pass for now because I'd rather pick up Return to Arkham because I'm more of a Batman fan than Bioshock. But that's
Yeah.
still cool. I mean, I'm down. I think it's a really cool idea.
Definitely agree. Sorry about the coughing. It's an ongoing process, guys, of being dealt.
It's like, come on, you just got it back. Everyone, calm down. It's
I
gonna be
know
okay.
it's a long and bumpy road. But right, so we'll switch away from that and we'll move on to the last piece of gaming news, which is also a little bit interesting as well because it kind of came out of the blue. So we're moving to our boy, mine and Chris's boy, not Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
So I'll read the story to you. So Quantic Dream founder and studio head David Cage has shared some interesting insight into developers' next project, the upcoming interactive neo-noir thriller Detroit Become Human. So in a new video posted on the PlayStation blog, folks over at Sony caught up with Cage following Detroit's E3 2016 trailer. From discussing Quantic Dream's new engine to the reveal of Connor, the second playable android in Detroit, Cage went into detail about some of the challenges he faced in the script writing process of Detroit, suggesting it's a very long and quote complex end quote story. He said, and I quote, well, the script of Detroit is thousands and thousands of pages, and it's really complex script in many ways. From the very first scene, very first second of the game, you start to see things having consequences in the scene and maybe beyond the scene. Of course, as you move on in the story, it becomes more and more complex, end quote. So Cage also revealed that Detroit would follow a similar formula to Heavy Quantic Dream's critically acclaimed PlayStation exclusive Heavy Rain, where there will be separate story arcs for each character, and they will end up, depending on players' choices, intertwining for the full narrative. He said, and I quote, we tell different individual stories from different androids, and they start as separate stories. But of course, there will be a point where they will connect and interlace and tell you the big story, and it makes even and it makes things even more complex for me as a writer, but hopefully more exciting also for the player in the end. End quote. Adding on to that as well, in the at E3 as well, Cage confirmed that Detroit is about 8 to 10 hours long,
Mhm.
which is the same as Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain.
Yeah, which it makes sense for a game that,
Yeah.
like is begging you to do multiple playthroughs. Like, oh man, I could already see the trophies on that game. Like,
Yeah. Fuck
uh,
me. The trophies from the ones I got. Fuck me.
like watch, like the platinum is gonna be called "Became Human" or something
I just
like that.
hope the game ends with like Scott Shelby saying, "I'm the origami killer," and I'm like, fuck. It's like,
Mr. Shelby, you are the origami killer. You killed my baby. Yeah,
uh,
that I think it's gonna end up being really cool, man, to replay it. So 8 hours doesn't seem bad. And Cage, I
uh,
just fucking love David Cage, man. These quotes from him, like he knows what he's doing.
yeah, he's a very smart man, no doubt
Yeah,
about that. But yeah, I'm
yeah,
like, look, at the game though, the E3 trailer with Connor, we didn't really talk about obviously because I was ill.
yeah.
It looked amazing. The visuals are fucking on Quantic Dreams level. Like they just keep getting better and better. I like the story dynamic. I like it's multiple characters. I like it's more of a throwback to Heavy Rain, which it needs to be as well because it was a very
Yeah.
much, it was more interactive. I also see Cage calling this more a neo noir thriller. Um, but like generally speaking, though, what I saw, I'm impressed. What I liked so far, I'm impressed, and like just generally it's so because it's kind of like more choice and consequence.
Hmm.
And like that entire like scene where it shows like the trailer, it kind of zooms out and shows all the choices and consequences and how to link up and the different ways you can do it. Like that one scenario with Connor and that bloke holding the girl, like you can have different options where like he'll shoot Connor or Connor shoots him or Connor makes him put it on the girl and the sniper shoot him and kind of like there's different scenarios like it has meaningful consequences. It's kind of like that Heavy Rain scene where Scott Shelby's in that supermarket with that guy.
Hmm.
Um, and that guy comes into burglary, and depending on what you do, that guy dies or he doesn't die.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more like we're getting somewhere with this game a little bit.
Yeah, like totally agree, man. It's I mean it's gonna be I feel like David Cage is becoming the Tarantino of video games. You know what you're getting into when you watch a Tarantino movie, and I think David Cage, you know what you're gonna get into, and I mean that in the best possible compliment. And yeah, dude, the trailer. I mean, I like that idea. That's multiple characters now. I mean, Kira looked really cool. It's Kira, right?
All
Or
right.
Kara? Yeah, she looked really cool in the first trailer, and I like her storyline and what they're going to be doing with that. That seems really interesting. And Connor looks equally as interesting. I mean, like, it's going to be really cool to see all this, get put on. Yeah, dude, that is definitely without a doubt my anticipated game of 2017. Like that is the big. That's like my phantom pain of 2017. Unless,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's gonna happen, but unless Death Stranding comes out next year, which it won't,
No.
that's definitely gonna
See,
be
when
my
it's at
big
points of
thing.
production like last month, I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a miracle that, on a side note, it's a miracle that that demo even, I mean, that video, that trailer even
Yeah.
happened. I mean, for fuck's sake, he formed the group in December. Like, and they made a trailer. That's amazing. They did that. Like, Sony gave him some serious cash to like get that up and running.
Well, it's just
So,
generally giving them a lot of cash for that game, so it'll be very interesting to see that. But yeah, Detroit, very excited for.
Detroit, yeah, become human. All right. I guess. Do you mind if I close this out on news?
Of course.
All right, so very cool. Adnan brought this to my attention. I didn't know this had been announced. I'm so excited. But Disney has announced Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm gonna wreck it for 2018. So of course the original Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012, and so many people said it was the greatest video game movie ever made, and I submit that is true. But yeah, the Disney announced this morning that a sequel is officially in development. Of course, John C. Riley is going to come back as Wreck-It Ralph, title character. Rich Moore is returning to direct the sequel, along with his co-director Phil Johnson, who actually helped write the original film. And yeah, it looks really cool. The concept art was also released for the sequel, and it looks like the sequel is going to be definitely juggling the internet. You could see stuff like instead of Grubhub, there's something called Lubhub. There instead of Google, it's Google, but it's with a U. So Google, I don't know. And then Amazon is just amazing. So this is really cool. Pictopedia instead of Wikipedia. So really cool. Like it looks like it's gonna be really fun. And yeah, the first movie, of course, global box office hit, made $500 million. Not as successful as Frozen or Zootopia, but still really cool. But yeah, the movie Wreck-It Ralph 2 will be released March 9th, 2018. So excited about this, man. Excuse me. I really enjoyed the original Wreck-It Ralph a lot. I thought it was super cool, and I liked the whole arcade atmosphere. Really great movie. Like I bought the 3D Blu-ray. After the movie came out a few months after, because I really 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 enjoyed it. And I do remember they talked about a few years ago. They were saying if they did make a sequel, it would tackle online gaming and the world of online. Because in this game, in this universe, when the arcades are shut down, the video game characters go into the electrical outlets to hang out. So what happens when you're in an MMO and you're constantly on?
Yeah.
Like how does that? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do that in the
Yeah,
sequel.
I'm just generally speaking, though, I'm very excited for Wreck-It Ralph 2. It took me
Yeah.
ages to watch the movie, but the references and it's so brilliant. Even Metal Gear Solid in that game when we pulled out the exclamation mark from the box. Um,
Yeah, that was great.
it was brilliant. And just like it's so funny though, because I feel like if anything, this new movie needs like more supporting from some of the other characters. Like Zangief was fucking brilliant in
Yeah.
the first one, where he's like, and I'm not a bad guy. He's like he's the
You're
entire
not the
bad
bad
guy.
guy.
But he's like, you are the bad guy, and it's like, but like there were like some generally like great moments, and some of the more other characters need to kind of like be shunned up a little bit. Obviously, not to neglect Ralph, but like I am very excited though. Like I've been excited for a long time for an animation movie, and Wreck-It Ralph 2 is like
Yeah.
great. It's only now is like Big Hero 6 2, like no, my fucking will be made, but very excited. Now.
Yeah, super cool. And I still need to see Big Hero 6, man. I still haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, you do. You do need.
So many people have told me, like, you haven't seen it? What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Like, I
It's
feel
a,
like I feel like a dog that like peed inside. Like I got in trouble, and I'm like, all right, I'll go.